Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Table Talk. You have your host, me, Christine, and
Nakia.
And we're here with some youth from the Hampton Roads area. We have Charlasia, we have Monet, we have Latrace, and Earlene. Say hi, everyone.
Hi.
So as we all know, there have been some incidents of police brutality or overkill, excessive force, there we go, excessive force in the United States as of lately towards African Americans. So everyone always hear what the adults have to say. Well, we at Table Talk want to hear what the youth have to say. So how do you all feel about the police brutality in the United States today? Anyone?
Me personally, I feel like it's at the point where it's getting out of hand. We hear about a different story every week of a teen being murdered, sometimes twice a week. So it's out of hand, to be honest with you.
So why do you say it's getting out of hand? Do you not think it's already out of hand? I mean, some of them are getting more publicity because of possibly where they might be located at. Mm-hmm. But who's to say that this might not already be going on in other cities? Might not be as big as Baltimore. Somebody might not have a camera phone with
the recording options
to record a boy that got shot in his back.
Michael Scott.
Couple months, that was
Michael Scott.
Okay, Michael Scott. You know, this might actually be going in less.
Well, it's not a might. It is going on in a lot of cities and a lot of towns and things like that. The Department of Justice did their investigation in Ferguson, and it showed that this is rampant. This is happening in very small towns up to the very large cities all across this country. So is it getting out of hand, or is it already out of hand?
I mean, it probably is already out of hand, but when I say getting out of hand, I mean as far as stories making national news. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that happens at every city doesn't make national news. But as far as national headlines, I feel like there's too many out there.
So how do you feel as a black young man in today's society with all of this stuff going on?
To be honest, I'm terrified because I could be next
so,
at any given point.
So when you out and about with your friends, do you go out with your friends? Do you travel by yourself? Are you always on your P's and Q's?
It depends. When I'm out with my friends, I'm on my P's and Q's. I try to stay, sober and aware of my surroundings. But most of the time, it's just, I'm in college, so mostly I'm in studying. But on the weekends, yeah, I'm on my P's and Q's.
Well, and also when you go to school, there's a lot of police presence.
Yeah, it is. I go to Norfolk State, and we had a recent incident with a girl. She was attacked. She was attacked by a tag dog.
Right.
And,
Oh, right.
So I mean, it's right at home for me. You get what I'm saying?
What about you, Char?
I mean, I'm not really shocked about it. I've been hearing a lot. So when you see stuff on the news, it's like, again, I'm not really shocked by it. Like, I've seen it a lot.
But how do you feel about it? Even though you're not shocked, how does it hit you? How does it make you feel?
I mean, I feel like it hurts because it's only like African American boys that's getting killed and hurt. But like, I mean, I don't know.
I feel lucky, to be honest.
You feel lucky?
Well, lucky is not me, and I'm not there. I ain't lucky, no. I be feeling scared too, because you never know when it's gonna happen. You gotta look twice at everybody. And
so do any of you guys view police differently? Because growing up, we teach kids that the police is the good guy. If you ever in trouble, you call the police. Back in the day, they would have the police come up to the school, and the police officer would make this big speech. If you boys and girls misbehave, I'm going to come and arrest you. Now, we don't want them giving that speech at school.
What do you feel, Monet?
I just feel terrified, about the discrimination that's going on.
So do you feel terrified as a young lady, or do you feel terrified for like your brother or your uncles or something like that?
I feel terrified as an African American.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you all think we could fix this problem in our community? Because we can't fix problems in other people's community, but in our community. Here in Hampton Roads, we know 2 young males were shot and killed in Portsmouth recently, and one was shot and survived. How do we feel we could fix this in our community?
Like, the way you conduct yourself, it's like first impressions are everything. If you're out and about and you're being like, okay, ghetto or whatever they want to call it,
rude,
people are going to treat you the way you treat yourself in public. So that's number one, just the way you conduct yourself in public.
And respect, you know, being disrespectful back to the police officers is not going to get you anywhere.
Well, it's a good thing that y'all brought that up, because your generation, I'm not speaking for y'all that's on this couch, but your generation feels that respect should be given automatically off the top. Like, as soon as I walk in the door, I'm supposed to respect Char, Monet, Trace, Earlene. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that I won't. I'm not going to come out my face wrong. But at the end of the day, the type of respect that we're talking about is when I talk to you, well, not so much as y'all because y'all older, but like 10, 12, maybe even 15. When I talk to you, it's not yeah, no, jank, all those adjectives and made up words that y'all come up with, you know, when you're talking to an adult. So if that's the way you talk 24 hours a day, you in school, you talk like that. You go home and you talk like that because your parents allow you to talk like that. What you think is going to happen when another adult comes? You're still going to talk like that. You see what I'm saying? And to them, they think that that's disrespectful. You know, not
just disrespectful, hood rich, hood-ish, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
They
and
see
then
it
a lot
as
of these police officers are Caucasian and they are in black communities. So they're not talking like, their kids don't talk to them like that. Or they're not talking to their kids like this. You know, when they talk to their kids, I guarantee you, it's nothing. The dialogue is totally different than the dialogue that comes
with certain African American children.
Right.
Yeah, but I feel like people don't realize that it's like a second language for us. You get what I'm saying? Like, we talk like y'all talk at work differently how y'all talk amongst each other. You get what I'm saying?
No, I mean, besides calling my boss a B, I mean.
I was usually growing up, like, you use slang, you talk how you feel comfortable, like, amongst your peers, and then when you get into the business world, or when you get into school, or when you start to learn proper English, because most people, I'm not saying like, as an African American, like, as a youth, I saw my uncles using slang. I saw my cousins using slang. So I grew up using slang. But when I got to school, I learned, all right, well, you talk this way at home, you talk this way at school.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Most people don't.
It's a place.
But most
people outside of our culture don't understand that. You get what I'm saying?
No. It's not people outside of our culture. It's our culture don't understand that. Okay, so here it is. Let's just say, just like you said, okay, when I was growing up, slang wasn't a household thing. I couldn't come in my house and say, first of all, the slang back then was every word that y'all have a slang for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But back then, we had a slang for maybe one or two things, I mean, I wasn't back in the Jive Turkey days, but, the slang that we had was dang. You know what I'm saying? Dang. But you wouldn't say that around your parents. If something happened, you'd be like, oh, man. You wouldn't be like, oh, dang.
Because your parents gonna slap you in your mouth.
Right.
You cussing at me?
And in school, they teach you proper English and how to use certain words. Were, where, to, T-O-O, to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to need I'm going to need people to get up on the proper words, when to use them properly, so that when you come into a situation, you can articulate yourself, and that person, that officer or whoever, because sometimes it's not even an officer, it might just be somebody that's trying to diffuse the situation. Don't come off all loud, ignorant. Nah, man, that over there. But
how can they learn to turn it off when it's allowed in their homes? When we were growing up, speaking slang wasn't allowed in my home. Speaking slang wasn't allowed in my school. You know, if anybody did it, they did it on the streets, and we never spoke slang because our teachers didn't allow it. You know, we had to speak proper English at all times.
So what do y'all talk at home?
I'm not saying at home. Like when I say at home, I don't say like
No,
to my parents.
I know.
But I'm saying
but you don't talk it to your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm
you don't
talking
talk it to your parents.
No, not to my parents. That's what y'all don't understand. If I'm talking to my sibling, I'm gonna use slang. If I'm talking to my friends, I'm gonna use slang.
So
that's
if you're
what I
on
mean
the
when I'm at
phone
home.
with
If
your
I'm in my
friend
community,
in front of your parent, what are you saying?
I'm probably
You're not
listening.
saying.
I'm probably not talking. I'm probably listening.
You're not saying.
in front of my parents.
You know, such and such. Such and
I'm
such
just saying,
thought
okay,
or
yeah.
whatever. Right. What you saying? That deer over there, she looks really
She had the
nice.
deer in the headlights.
Yeah, you know, the girl with the, you know what I'm saying. You know, how
Yeah.
do
That's
you?
a respect thing. You
But
get what I'm
Okay,
saying?
so then why can't you carry that respect to other adults? Not you.
And
I'm not saying
police
not you.
officers.
Okay, so
and police officers.
So this is how it goes. Usually the police talk to you any kind of way they want to.
Yeah.
Does
And
that
once you-
mean you do it back? Your parents talk to you in any kind of way they want to. Do you come back at them the way you do police?
No, but
No, but I'm saying.
But there's no buts because there's still adults and authority figures.
But if you're talking at home like that, you don't trust the police or that police already hate you, then why am I, like, if you come up to me and you're a police officer and you're talking smack to me already, I'm like, he don't even like me, so why am I going to show you any respect?
And I feel like in most cases, police try to like antagonize you or
they abuse their
or pick with you because they know they can. You can't retaliate.
Here's a question. What if the police officers were in predominantly black communities, what if the police officers were black?
If they were
All
black,
of them were black. Do you believe we would still have this same excessive force police brutality going off, and why?
I mean, in the Gray case, there were 2 black officers, so
Yeah.
I don't really think
It was 3 black officers, but they were with 3 white officers. It was 6 together. So it was 3 and 3. So that makes it an even playing field. Do you think it would have been different? It would have been 3 and 1? You get what I'm saying?
I think it would be different because I feel like the white police officers like target the African American.
You feel they target them, or do you feel that we bring it to us as a people? I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 with it. Because we do commit these crimes, but they don't have to take it the way they take it.
Agreed. So do you think they're scared of us?
No, that's just the label they give.
Then why, if there's a video, a white cop is trying to get a white boy, a white young man or whatever, and he has a gun, and they tase him, and they tase him, and they tase him. After they get done tasing him, no, he was on the ground by a gas station. They tase him, and he say, "F y'all, I ain't doing nothing," and then they still talking. They're trying to get their handcuffs. As they're trying to get the handcuffs to put him on him, he jumps up and run away. He runs off. No gunshot, no tase, no nothing.
Why didn't you?
But if it would have been an African American, they would have been shot as they was running away. So with that being said, does it seem like they may be afraid of us?
Yeah, I think so. Because when I was at school, there was a girl who felt like all black people are born angry. That's how she felt. She was like, it's just the way she is. People are just angry.
Just upset.
They just think we're always angry and other people can't be. So yeah, that's probably it. That's part of it. And then some people are just prejudiced against us in general.
Do you experience prejudice? Have any of you all experienced prejudice?
I have.
I've been stopped a few times for no reason.
Walking while black, driving
Walking
while black,
driving while black,
riding a bike while black,
enjoying myself while black.
In school, they expect us to be like not as smart. When I was in my honors classes, some of them would be like, "I'm shocked you can even do this good."
So remember Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
You seen that movie?
That's what I was about to get to.
So, remember, there was 2 black cops in that movie. And I was thinking about your question. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to see more black African Americans on the police force. But but we all know how we do pertaining to the movie. Hem them boys up for no reason. You know, it would be nice to have our children look up to someone who made it. You know, okay, we got Barack Obama. No matter what everybody feel about him, it don't matter. He made it. You know what I'm saying? Started from the bottom, now he there.
Yes.
So it would be nice to have a black police officer in your community or someone that you know, because Char and Monet, New York, New York, Chicago, Chicago. You from here?
I'm from Newport News.
Okay, so we see African American cops on the beat walking. Ain't no driving by, get out the street. We're walking. If you say something to them, if you ask them for directions, it's no, you know,
bunch of mess.
It's no It's no hostility. They'll answer your question. And
because they've spent time in our neighborhoods.
But they're still African American.
Right, but they've also spent time in the neighborhood. They've got to know people. They've been on that same beat for years.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Because if they transfer to a different precinct, then no. But there's also Irish cops. There's also Hispanic cops. There's also different cops have different backgrounds, but they're still in these.
Not in Chicago.
Well, in New York, they're still in the predominantly African American neighborhoods, and New York do have its fair share of the cop situation. Like back when I was growing up, Abner Nwima, I don't know if y'all remember that. They stuck the plunge up his butt. There was a whole bunch of them. Yeah, he was a.
Even the young man that got shot 41 times coming from his bachelor's shower in New York.
That put his wallet up.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's been numerous cases, so it's rampant everywhere. We can't even say one city have it a little bit less than the other. It's rampant everywhere.
But in bigger cities, they understand the
threat,
the politics behind placing certain ethnicities in certain areas. You know, and that's kind of hard to do in areas like this where you always driving. You don't ever see a police officer walking unless it's on the ocean front.
Yeah.
And 9 to 10 times they looking for something. It's not necessarily they walking because they're doing their job.
Right.
Which is they're doing their job, but while they doing their job, they extra scrutinizing what you doing. You know, why you stopped so long, why you bent over, how many drinks you had. It's not so much as that. And I think most precincts in different worldwide need to adopt that
get to know your community
not
attitude.
So much as that, but hire more different ethnicities, you know what I'm saying?
So what do y'all think, or how do you feel about the riots in Baltimore?
I feel like it's a start, but without the violence. Like, what is burning up the CVS, robbing a sneaker store, burning down a barbershop is going to do?
It's going to take money out of their pockets. That's how they're thinking. It's going to take money out of the Caucasian community pockets. But we don't think about, they have insurance. So it's not taking nothing but about $1,000 or $2,000 out of their pockets. But it will cause them to not make money.
I mean, but they also burned down the church.
Yeah.
I mean, how?
But how old were they?
Helping the community.
That church was. How old were they?
They
were teenagers, high school children.
I don't think they're thinking about that. I think some of them.
They're just thinking about what?
Some of them. I feel like some of them probably don't even know why they're rioting for. They're just joining in to join in. Some of them are just having fun.
Just like that young man who mother was slapping him upside the head.
Yeah.
He said the reason why he was down there is because in past riots, his friends was doing it, and some of them didn't come back or they had issues. So it was more or less a tag along. You know what I'm saying? Not because I want to be part of this movement.
But I also saw a video of a young man, 17 years old, who was like, "We live here. This is our neighborhood. Yeah, y'all thinking it's a problem that we tearing up our neighborhood, but guess what? Y'all not thinking about what brought us to this point. Why we are here. Why are we rioting? Yeah, we're rioting for Freddie Gray, but we also are rioting for the wrong and all the wrong that's done in our community.
Okay, but just because you bring violence, if the police and they called the National Guard, so if the National Guard and the police brought violence, two wrongs don't make it right.
Yeah, but even without two wrongs making them right, it still got the police officers indicted. Had none of that brought attention to it. Just like even with George Zimmerman, even with the cops with Eric Gardner, even in Ferguson, Tamir Rice, all of them. If no one had spoke out, said nothing, showed them videos, rioted or whatever, them cops wouldn't have got even indicted. But
indicted is just, it's nothing now to get an indictment. As you can see, Zimmerman, Ferguson, it's nothing to get indicted. Okay, but we can indict you all day, and we're gonna let you out on bail, so you can go ahead and live your life until trial, which is 2 years from now. It's nothing.
Yeah, and you're gonna get off, and everyone's seen it on TV.
Right. It's nothing to get an indictment. What we want is a guilty verdict. We don't want you to continue on living like.
Go back to your job like you ain't just killed somebody.
Do you think these cops gonna be able to go back to their jobs? Their faces are plastered all over the news and all of that. Do you think?
They can get a desk job. They still gonna have their job.
Because the one that killed Mike Brown had to leave his job.
No, he quit.
Resigned. Yeah.
He resigned. He resigned because it was going to bring negativity to that department.
No, the department already had negativity from the situation. He chose to resign. He could have still walked in there with his uniform on, got in his police car, and patrolled the streets, and wasn't nothing. I guarantee you wasn't nothing going to happen to him. I bet you somebody else would have got shot before he got shot.
Y'all agree?
I agree with that. He resigned just
because for his peace of mind, he understands now the seriousness behind what he did. Now, we don't know verbatim what happened in that when nobody filmed what happened, but why he did what he did, that's on his conscience. It's between him and the Lord. But he understands now the seriousness. I bet you he won't do that no more.
So, last question. Y'all know people got killed here. If rioting and nonviolent protest, well, what if nonviolent protests began here? Would you all participate?
Yes. If it was nonviolent.
Starting with Charlasia, why?
It means something. We're doing it for a reason. We're not doing it because, I mean, when I say it means something, we're not doing it because we want to be seen or we want publicity. We're doing it because we're doing it for our culture and the things that happened in the past. Well, that's what I would do it for. I can't speak for everybody, but I would join because I need to make a change.
I would join to stop it, to let them know that enough is enough. Too many African American males, mostly, are being killed.
Like they said, our voices need to be heard. And I mean, even if the nonviolent protests turn into violent protests, then it happens.
I wouldn't do it if it was violence, because I have a future I'm looking at. But if it's nonviolence, then I'm all for it, because I believe in the cause, and I feel like we get nothing solved if we're violent.
Well, could we take it a step further and forget the marching or
boycott
or why don't we live how we supposed to live, get away from being so ratchet and so Western civilized, and do what we supposed to do as African Americans, what our ancestors died for, you know? If I guarantee you they are rolling in their graves. What you said, them graves is them coffins is popping open. Like, I can't believe these Negroes is doing this. Blood, sweat, and tears went into what they did. And now look, these kids are off the chain. Cursing with adults around. It's more than just rioting. You gotta take it a step further. You gotta live your life how it was meant to be lived. And let that be an example for the next person and for the next person, because you never know who's watching you.
So what do you all say to the audience?
What were we supposed to say?
Like, what do you say to the audience on your stand so we can close out? On your stand about our future as a community.
Or your future.
I feel like everything starts at home, to be honest with you. I mean, make your children aware of what could happen if they act a certain way in public, or even if they don't act a certain way in public. Just let them know. I mean, police brutality is real, and teach your kids manners, teach your kids respect early. Starts at home. That's it.
I feel very cynical about everything that's happening. I feel like right now it's really not going to make a difference. I don't even know if those police officers are going to get a guilty verdict in Baltimore. I just feel like everything's going in their way. And that you just got to be careful for your own.
Every man for himself.
Yeah.
Or every black community for themselves.
Every black person for themselves, not even the whole community. You got to watch out for yourself.
I think that's where we go wrong, though.
I believe
I think it's wrong too.
If we don't come together as a community, then how are we gonna, like, if we can't work together, how we expect like other people to respect us?
We the only race that don't.
I see that too. You got Asians, we got Asians, Mexicans, everybody work together. That's how they build.
They bring in their families.
And we just destroy.
Yes.
So that's the only two options.
So we ought to become a village again.
Yeah.
Tribe.
But also there are people in Baltimore that have been working together. The media just doesn't show that.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't get the attention that they want it to.
Yeah, like the Crips and Bloods had came together, but that wasn't publicized as much as the negative.
There were like elderly people and young people standing in front of the officers trying to say, like, don't hurt them. But you only saw pictures of that. You didn't see it on the media. The news, yeah.
Charlotte, anything?
I agree with Arlene. I don't think nothing's going to change right now. Like, you can't tell a police officer, I mean, it could be two black boys. One of them could be violent, one of them can't be. But I mean, one of them can be violent, one of them would be like a straight A student. But what's the word? I'm sorry. Looking at the cop's point of view, they don't really know. So you can't really, just because you change, don't mean you're going to be not a victim of being killed. Like,
that's what happened in Charlottesville. This kid was an honor student at UVA, and he still got beat up by the cops because they thought he was drinking.
So
Yeah, I read about that.
like, you gotta do more than that.
So here we have it, family. We have the youth in Hampton Roads saying that 1, we need to be a village. 2, we need to change the way we present ourselves out in public. And 3, they don't see no hope right now. So we, as the adults and the people who have more knowledge about certain things, have to come together and help our youth. Bring them to the point where they have hope, because a hopeless people is a dead people. Y'all agree?
Yes.
You have anything?
No. Mr. Surgeon in training.
That's right.
He is a senior at NSU, so this is something to be proud of.
Yes.
You know,
graduating.
He might
soon.
be the next Barack Obama. We made it.
Thank you.
Arlene is in college.
Old Dominion University.
ODU. Monet is about to graduate.
Charlotte,
She on her way. She on her way. She on her way.
So here we are. They're not all black children or all African American children are not trouble. We had 2 college students, a future college student, and another one about to graduate next year. Let's put this to good use. Let's help our children. Bye, family.
Amen.
Power to the people. Power to the people.